but that there's a real connection, that we're all connected through all these different subject areas.
Okay, good.
Connecting the dots, inspiring her students to see the possibilities. Elena Sanchez does it every day. In Hialeah, Ari Odzer, NBC6 News.
Congratulations to her. That's fantastic.
Yeah, nothing like a great teacher.
Makes a difference. That's going to do it for the news at 5:30.
But you don't want to go anywhere. The news at 6 starts right now.
A doctor behind bars this evening charged in a deadly overdose of one of her patients. The NBC6 investigators break down the accusations against her and the arrest video you'll see only on 6.
Students sickened. Ambulances called to Norland High School after a fight before an exam ends with pepper spray. We're live with what happened.
Some skin creams may contain a harmful ingredient, and we've found them on store shelves. NBC6 Responds has what you need to look out for.
Live, the news on NBC6 at 6 starts now.
It's video you'll see only on NBC6. Tonight, a South Florida doctor put in handcuffs accused of prescribing pain pills that led to the death of one of her patients. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jackie Nesbro.
And I'm Dewan Schroeder. Good evening to you. She's accused of doing more with those pills than just handing them out to patients. NBC6 investigator Dan Krauth was the only reporter there for the arrest. He joins us tonight with more. Dan.
Jackie and Juwan, the feds are accusing the doctor of overprescribing pain meds to a patient who didn't need them and taking pills back in return. Prosecutors say many of her deals were not done in her doctor's office, but through her cell phone.
Dr. Marta Farinas didn't expect to see federal agents or the NBC6 investigators when she showed up to her Palmetto Bay office this week, led to the back of a cop car in handcuffs.
There's not a definition of what a criminal looks like today.
Some of them are wearing white doctor clothing.
Some of them are wearing white doctor clothing.
The doctor's accused of writing powerful pain prescriptions to a patient whose illness didn't require them. Prosecutors say Leanne Malazzo, a nurse, mother and wife, started taking pain meds after the birth of her second daughter. She overdosed in her Key Largo home last year. She died the day after she got a prescription for oxycodone. 18 pills were missing from the bottle.
In this particular case, there were prescriptions written for 160 to almost 200 pills. On almost within a 60-day period of time, which is an excessive amount of pills.
Prosecutors say the high-quantity prescriptions weren't just for patients. In text messages dating back 2 years, Malazzo asked the doctor for drugs. The doctor sent a text message back saying, "What do you need? Can you share? I'm desperate too." The patient responded, "I would share. 180 30-milligram oxycodone."
Unfortunately, in this case, too, the doctor is an addict herself. So many times when she would prescribe people a large amount of pills, she would request for a large quantity of those back for her own personal use.
Statewide reports show oxycodone is the second most prescribed controlled substance in Florida. Nearly 200 people died of an oxycodone-related death in our area in 2017. But that was down from the previous year.
We still have a lot of doctors that are overprescribing.
And manslaughter.
That's correct.
Dr. Farinas is facing a charge of manslaughter, along with conspiracy to traffic and deliver oxycodone.
Order her to do drug testing today.
She broke down in the courtroom. The judge ordered her to house arrest and random drug testing when she posts a $100,000 bond.
Doctors take an oath to help people, and you'd never have any reason to doubt them. So you do take these prescriptions from them, and they abuse that authority.
We reached out to her state-appointed attorney and haven't heard back yet. Prosecutors say Dr. Farinas' boyfriend died of an overdose a few months after Malazzo, and that she admitted to prescribing drugs for him and some of his friends. She is not charged in his death. The arrest is the result of a year-long investigation by the DEA, the Miami-Dade Police, and the Monroe County Sheriff's Department. Reporting live tonight, Dan Krauth, NBC6 News.
Dan, thank you. A disturbing discovery in Boca Raton after a newborn is found crying inside of a dumpster. Neighbors say the maintenance workers found the baby girl this morning while working at the apartment complex that the dumpster belongs to. The child was rushed to the hospital where officials say that she is expected to survive. Now the search is on for her parents.
A mystery developing right now in Miami. A person in custody after 2 women were found dead in a condo. NBC6 anchor Dan Grossman is live right now at the scene in Edgewater. Dan, what's the latest from out there?
Jackie, we know that police, shortly after they found these 2 bodies, they were able to arrest 1 man. This all transpired right here at the Paraiso Bay apartment complex. It's one of several luxury high-rise buildings in this area of Edgewater. Police, though, say the original call didn't come from someone in the building. Rather, it came from Homeland Security. On Wednesday, evidence didn't only serve as a medium for justice.
It's a little scary. I mean, part of the reason we live here is because it's secure.
It also served as a source of assurance for mothers like Christina, who live in Paraiso Bay and were looking for it.
I have a daughter, so she's young, and I think we're actually, for several reasons, we're going to be moving out.
Miami police say they arrested one man after the body of two women stabbed to death were found Tuesday night. The call originally came from Homeland Security, who then alerted police to the luxury high-rise in Edgewater.
This has always been a very safe building. We do background checks on everybody that comes here. So we really don't know what is going on.
Claudia Ayuse works for the building's developer.
This is something outrageous. We don't know what's going on. It must be somebody probably that came into the building. I don't know what happened. We don't know what's going on, but we definitely will investigate and find out to make sure everybody is safe in our community.
Police say there didn't appear to be any signs of forced entry into the apartment, but ended their details there, as they wouldn't comment on the ages or identities of the victim or suspect who lived at the apartment or their relationship to the now suspected killer.
I would love to know what actually happened and why and how it could have been prevented, most importantly.
Miami police were not clear as to how the Department of Homeland Security is involved in this. They do say, however, this investigation does not involve them. It is strictly being handled by the Miami Police Department. Reporting live at Edgewater tonight, Dan Grossman, NBC6 News.
Thanks, Dan. New details now in the arrest of a Miami Beach murder suspect. Miami Beach police say this man, Nicholas Brent Gibson, confessed to killing 77-year-old Eric Stocker, but he also told police he was involved in 6 other murders in Florida, Georgia, and California. Police said right now they can't corroborate those claims, but Gibson was arrested Sunday in New York City. A motive for the killing hasn't been released.
Well, it started with a fight between 2 students getting ready to take a test and ended with more than a dozen students sickened. 2 rushed to the hospital. Chopper 6 up over the scene where rescue crews pulled up to Norland High School this afternoon. NBC6 reporter Steve Litz is live right now at the school with more. So, Steve, what happened here?
As you said, Juan, this was a fight, and the 2 girls who were fighting here inside Norland, they are being disciplined according to the student code of conduct. And then the student who released that irritant into the air, that student is being arrested and criminally charged.
Next thing you know, 2 girls got up, and then more girls came, and then the orange stuff got in the air, and everybody started going crazy and ran out.
The medic units lined up outside Miami Norland Senior High School, ready for a worst-case scenario. Student Deshaun Griffin showing us where he felt a burning sensation on his face. A student released some sort of irritant into the air, making Griffin sick and plenty of others, too.
My face is burning. It feels like hell. It's hot.
It's still numb, but like when it happened, my face was burning, and I couldn't see out of one eye, and I felt dizzy, and it was real crazy.
The superintendent says 2 female students got into a fight. A 3rd student released the irritant.
16 students that had different levels of complaints. After treating and evaluating the patients on scene, we did transport 2 patients to the hospital with minor injuries.
The incident happened in the gym at a critical time as students were getting ready to take a standardized test. They describe a few moments of panic with people running away from the gym, some students flushing their face with water and milk to alleviate the sting. Griffin telling us his fellow students should behave appropriately.
And I don't know why she would do that, because you don't know what people have out here. You don't know people have asthma. You don't know what's their medical history, so why would you throw pepper spray in the air?
14 students were treated here at the school, and those 2 who were taken to the hospital have been released. School was slightly interrupted today, and those students who were sitting for that standardized test, they are going to have to gear up again to take it again. And the students here, as well as the teachers, are looking forward to a calmer day tomorrow. Live in Miami Gardens, I'm Steve Litz, NBC6 News.
All right, Steve. Well, just an Ultra Music Festival is leaving Miami. Ultra putting the word out just in the last hour, saying that it is voluntarily terminating its license with the city of Miami. Festival organizers say that the decision came in response to feedback about this year's venue on Virginia Key. Ultra says that it's in the process of finalizing a new location in South Florida.
It's demolition day at Lockhart Stadium. Construction equipment rolling into the site this morning to rip out the old and make way for the new. NBC6 reporter Katie Johnson is live right now at the site with a look at what's next. Katie, how does it look out there?
Well, it's demo day, and I can tell you soccer fans are very excited. You could take a look right behind me here. This is the first of what is going to be a big project for construction crews out here. In less than a year, there will be a brand new stadium right behind me, ready for its first match.
You'd think today was game day at Lockhart Stadium, but it's not.
This is a dream come true for many of us that have been waiting for soccer to come back to South Florida, maybe since the early 2000s when we lost the Fusion.
Instead, it's day one for demolition. In a ceremonial act, an excavator tore down the old ticket booth, making way for big changes to this 64-acre site in Fort Lauderdale.
We are investing in something that was a huge part of Fort Lauderdale's past and will be an even bigger part of our future.
$60 million worth of upgrades and improvements are coming to the site, which houses the 60-year-old stadium. There hasn't been a game played here since 2016. The field now overrun with weeds. But in less than a year, there will be a new team in town. Inter Miami is scheduled to play its first 2 seasons here in Fort Lauderdale.
Today is a day where the dream of soccer, of an MLS team for South Florida, becomes a reality.
The move not coming without a bit of controversy over the fact that this Miami team would get its start in Broward County.
It shouldn't be about Fort Lauderdale or Miami, it's about soccer in our community. You know, Broward and Palm Beach County have almost 4 million people. They're part of our community, they're part of our fan base.
Team leaders hoping the new 18,000-seat Lockhart Stadium will be a place for memories to be made and dreams to be achieved.
This is for the young men and women who will be able to achieve their dreams here, who will be able to do something, you know, great for our community and fill their hearts with the joy of sport.
And construction crews have a lot of work ahead of them. This old stadium needs to be torn down with a new one in its place by the team's season opener in March of next year. We're live in Fort Lauderdale. Katie Johnson, NBC6 News.
And Katie, you know, Lockhart Stadium has a long history in Fort Lauderdale, so let's break this down. It first opened in 1959 as a sports complex for area high schools. In 1977, Lockhart began its new role as a soccer stadium, serving as home field for the Fort Lauderdale Strikers until 1982. After that, it was used for high school sports, Miami Dolphins scrimmages until 1998, when it became a soccer stadium once again, home to the Miami Fusion until 2002. It then turned back into a football field for FAU's Owls until 2011, when the Fort Lauderdale Strikers moved in. They played there until 2016. After that, there were plans to build a water park, but that never materialized, and the site has been pretty much abandoned since then until now. And that's your NBC6 breakdown.
Nice breakdown there. All right, well, President Trump on the campaign trail in the Sunshine State.
Coming up, find out where he's rallying voters and who's joining him.
And skincare products that may contain a harmful ingredient. I'm consumer investigator Sasha Jones. Coming up, we share this consumer warning and tell you the words on the label that could help you know what to watch out for.
All right, as expected, not as stormy today, not as many rain showers, but it has not been entirely dry. We do have additional rain coming into our coastline. I'll let you know what to expect over the next few days and the weekend ahead.